Hello, fins and friends. Siren Sapphire here. Today I'm going to be showing you my method for wearing wigs. I have pretty long hair, so if you have medium to long length hair, this might be a good one for you. I'm not going to go too in-depth about wearing wigs underwater yet. More just wearing wigs in general. So if you're like going out, if you're being a mer, if you're doing cosplay, I got you. Now, everyone kind of has their own unique way of doing their hair before they put their wigs on, or how they actually put their wigs on. Some people like to do the put your head upside down and flip it back. Personally, as someone who styles wigs, I very much do not like that because it tends to mess up the style that you worked hours on. So I would suggest not doing that. If you want to see how I get this look here, let's go. So for the first step for putting on your wig, you're going to need to do your hair in some way. I just did mine. I typically do 2 French braids like this, and I do them as tight as I can because you really need your hair to be flat underneath. I have pretty long hair, as you can tell. So what I do is I do the 2 French braids, and then when I actually put the wig on, I'll kind of tuck it up so that the braids are right against each other like this. And then this part, just flatten it down like that. And I'll just do that when I actually put the wig cap on. But the really important thing with how you style your hair underneath your wig is just that your hair needs to be very flat against your head. Because if it's any bulky, then that'll show underneath the wig and it'll make your wig bulkier and it'll be harder to put on and wear things on top of, such as pirate hats. So you just want to make sure that your hair is very flat against your head, and you also want to remember to put on whatever you're going to be wearing before you put on the wig, because that can be challenging. So I am going to change really fast. Okay, so now that we're in our mermaid top, then we are going to put on our wig caps. I use 2 wig caps typically when I wear my wig, and sometimes I also use this thing that's called a wig grip. It looks like this. So the first wig cap that I use is this netted one, and you just put it on kind of like a headband, and then I'll do the little hair tuck thing that I showed you guys earlier. You just fold it over like that, and then I'll just hold that in place while I do the other one. Just hold them there, and then you just pull the netting around it. And there you go. Now you look like a lunch lady. And then I'll take my solid wig cap, like this. And I like to use a nude color, just so if anything is showing, then it doesn't look weird. Especially if you're wearing like a blonde wig. And if you have any, like a lace front or any lace in your wig, if you can see through it, then you see a skin tone, so it looks like your scalp. And then for this one, I like to try and put this little seam right here, right on the center. And I usually start from the back, kind of like a swim cap, and pull it over so that it kind of holds the back in place while you're putting it on. And then you can adjust if your hair gets a little out of place while doing that. You look bald. Yahoo! So now that we've got that all on, if you do want to use the wig grip, this is when you would put that on, and it just goes with this part over your forehead, and then it just velcros in the back like that. And these are really good for if you have a lace front wig and you're swimming underwater. This little textured part right here really holds the lace so that it doesn't shift at all. And then we can actually put on our wig. So I like to keep my wig on my little mannequin head here.
Michael's.
Her name's Belinda. All right, so here's my wig. And to put it on, I like to kind of just put my hands inside it, get the front just in the front of my head, and then move your hands back and pull the back section down underneath where your wig cap ends, and that gets it in place, pretty nicely. And then you can kind of adjust from there. My wig has little clips, if you can see, and one on the other side. And then I think it has one in the back as well. I don't typically use them because of the wig grip and the wig caps. It doesn't really go through them very well, but it is an extra security, so I might if I was like swimming in it. All wigs typically have, where is it? All wigs typically have these little things, elastic straps that tighten it. So there are little loops that you can attach them to, or if you want it really tight, you want it to stay, you can just attach them to each other. You just clip that underneath, the tricky part. If you have a friend, you could always get a friend to help you too. You can't really see underneath my wig, but you can kind of see if I lift up the hair how it comes up a bit. So you can see how it comes up a bit. So if you want to, you can always pin that down. Be pretty easy. Just take bobby pins and pin it underneath where your wig cap ends into your hair. And that would probably be helpful if you were swimming in it, just because your hair tends to float while you're swimming. So having that would keep it in place. And there we go. Ready to mer. And then I have my bandana that I put on. Thank you. Oh, coffee break. And for my bandana, I just like put it on my forehead and then tie it around, like nothing special. But I do like to tie it very tight as partially an extra security for the wig, also just to make sure it stays on. And there we go. That's our sapphire look. Ta-da! So that's a method for you if you have long hair and you want to wear a wig.
Yeah, good.
Ah!